welcome to Book Arts with Lori Taylor, where we are going to get wildly creative with bookmaking, writing, and illustrating. So grab your sketchbook and your coffee and come on with me to the creating table. When you look back on books that you loved when you were a child, was it a little golden book? Was it a big fat book with stories? This was one of my favorite books as a child. It was one that was made for and given to my mother before she was even born, and that was in 1926. So this is a very, very old book indeed. The pictures were cut by somebody, painstakingly and lovingly cut, I have to add, from Saturday Evening Post magazines. And so it was glued down to the yellow cloth pages with a common glue of the time, probably a mucilage type glue, and even cutting out the letters. I mean, I can't even imagine. I'm so thankful and grateful for my printer and that I can take text and print it off and cut that out. So this book was always a very special occasion when it was brought out, and I keep it protected in an archival box today and bring it out for special occasions. Creating books is a passion of mine. It's sharing that story. It's taking something that you've experienced that you so badly want to share with others. And so I created a book here, Grandmother Apple. It is a story about an apple tree where I used to live, a 150-year-old apple tree, and all the animals that gathered around it and lived in it and on it and under it. And so the book itself is an altered book. It was a Funk and Wagnall's encyclopedia that I covered in paint and a crackle paint and have floating titles and art. And on the inside, there's a magical pop-up and creating your own pages and paper and then printing off your illustration. It's just so much fun to make it a toy, something that you can just get out and show, just like that book from my mother. The other book here is on Michigan's second national park, and that is Isle Royale, out in the middle of Lake Superior. It was a book that I created years and years ago that I just so wanted to visit the park. And I was fascinated with the wolf and moose study, as well as the development of the island itself. And so I used a crackle paint and have illustrations, and on the inside, a map. And I thought someday I'll get there, and I finally did back in 2014. So again, creating something where I wanted to go, creating a book of something that I watched, like the grandmother apple tree, how 80 different species were drawn to her limbs and her shade and all the seasons. That's what's so special about a book, is sharing experiences. Go searching for materials to put into a book, which is really exciting. When you grab a bag or a basket and start looking for materials, you start finding things and to be put into and onto a book, as well as the story behind them.
stuff. Looking out the window.